Hello, everyone. We're back here on Fox. Three more games until we double rank up to 1Q. We're getting even closer to the Dawn ranks finally. I'm not feeling very good today, so I think I want to play. We're going to try to go for something where I don't have to think too hard and play a very solid territorial game. But we'll see what ends up happening.
Start to play.
Okay, I'm white in this game. Oh, and he played a move. So I said simple and solid is the goal. So 1 4 4 1 3 4. So just backing off here should be fine. And yeah, he was going to take the corner. I like how he's playing nice and simple for me as well. That makes it simpler overall. Let me see. I'm just going to take my base here and then approach him in the bottom left. Sort of do a classic opening, prevent his enclosure that was facing his stones. Kicking seems fine for me. Oh, but he does this now. Okay. So let's see if they play this any differently. But for now, I'm just going to attach. Something we've seen quite a lot in a few other games. But looks like he's maybe not going to play any different. Yep. So I still get to surround him and take all the different Ataris and just make a very solid group. So you know what? I like that this guy is following along with what I want to do. um, I will just do the tiger's mouth to prevent this capture from potentially being something. Ooh, double large knight means this corner is still open, but I'm just going to take my enclosure first. So I have some territory. So normally I would want to play from this side to secure the corner, right? But it's only a knight's move, and he gets a 2-space extension on this side. So instead, I want to play the 2-space extension here. That's kind of interesting. Looks like I can just block. I can attach and block. That could be fine too. But I think just the dog's face should be good. I can't really build a lot anywhere on this board, though I do have some influence, which prevents him from also being able to build. It feels a little bit bad to actually Hane this direction, because I'm not going in the direction I want to go. So the other option could also be to wedge here. If he Ataris here, I go out. He can Atari and connect. Then I have to connect. If he connects here, this one's a bit complicated. So I guess I will just stick with the simpler move and see what he decides to do with his group. Okay. Now I do have a cutting point, so I could protect that. But I do have the ladder as well. So if he cuts, I can just connect, and he can't ladder, and his group is not necessarily alive yet. So I think we should try to do something in this corner. And to start that, I'm going to approach as close as I possibly can to give a little bit of reinforcement here. Ooh, okay. So I think I want to prevent him from connecting up with this diagonal. And he didn't respond to my stone, so I'm able to push here, which gives me a lot of strength. If he blocks the head position here, I'm able to slide, which gets rid of a lot of his eye space. And then I don't have to actually connect here now. I could just go for the surrounding move. If he cuts, then he Ataris here and pushes. I can Atari him and connect. And it seems a little bit difficult for him to do anything. I could Atari from this side and then connect here solidly. So yeah, I think I will just surround him now. Force him to live. So just Atari here. He could counter Atari. But then I would just connect and it would be fine. But again, I just connect and now he needs to live locally. But my corner should be perfectly alive. Just connection should be fine. So he's just going to defend his corner. There's still Aji there, but since I have some Aji as well, I should just defend. Then we don't have to worry about anything on the board, and we have a nice large territory. So he's going to attack me now. I don't think it matters too much which one I play. If I play over the top, he can come underneath. So I think I want to play underneath to preserve my territory, because the outside is not really that important. I could double Hane and weaken this group, but I think, again, we'll play simple and just Hane his group instead. And then we can just peep at his shape. If I play this one and he connects, I probably want to come up anyway, so I think it's better to just come up directly. Those stones were not really that important, but that's fine. I want to do this peep because it has a little bit of a connection to my other stones. He could try to fight back, but I think if he fights back, it makes me a little bit stronger. And now that I have a lot more strength here, and I still have this nice thickness on the other side,
Yomi now starts.
I want to just attach here to try to get something with this group. I think the proper move here is actually the clamp, but in this case, I get to crosscut and cut off this one stone, which is quite nice for me. Okay, now he can't run this stone out, so that's also really good for me. So I gained some strength here, and he's not alive. I guess he's alive. He could have connected, I guess. I guess he can still connect. But since he's not alive, I think I want to just come from the outside first. Just surround him. Keep it simple. He can make the other eye in the corner. Do I actually need to play another move here? If he pushes and I extend, he pushes and I block, this cut doesn't actually do anything. So it actually looks like I don't have to block
9,
this.
8, 7.
So we can just go back into the
6.
corner and make sure he's dead. Because I can just extend here. Because I still have this really nice shape that I made earlier on. This cut is a little bit of something. I guess he's not quite alive here, but that move's not really important. I think what's more important is just the outside in general. So I think I want to sort of protect my cutting
9,
point.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
And this also sort of builds my left side a little bit. The next big move is probably the bottom side or jumping out towards the center. Oh, he resigned. Okay, cool. Yeah, because that move was too slow. It does secure his group. He's basically alive now because he has this move and he could play on the inside. So if I try to take the inside, he can play the outside. So I would get to take this outside move and he could still jump towards the center or play on the inside. So I think that was actually a pretty good game. Let's see if there's a way he could have done a little bit better. So this kick is actually the first mistake that he played. It's probably possible, but honestly, if you're going to Tanuki anyway, I prefer the solid move here. This is the iron pillar, right? It's very likely that I'm going to jump away. Then he has a good follow-up of playing like a two-space here, which is kind of connected fairly well to his group. But now he can Tanuki in a much stronger way because there's no way for me to really give any forcing moves to this group. So if that's really his goal, he could try to do some sort of squeezing thing here. And if I just jump, he's able to make something on the left side. And so it's probably a good idea for me to come over to the left side somewhere. And this is the issue with this iron pillar, is that your opponent can play all the way to here. I may not want to do that right away, but I can do that. Really, really shrinks the eye space. And it's hard to really kill the stone. But if I have two weak groups, this is a possible game for him, right? So the kick gives me the ability to wrap around his stones. I know AI likes to play different variations, but I think this is still good enough. You will likely not see people playing the kick at higher ranks, at least not very often. I would say that this move here at Q14, this peeping move, is the next mistake. As I already mentioned, this cut is not really that important, But what is very, very important and very urgent right now is this push. So he could peep me, but he has to push first. If I jump and I make this sort of shape here, then he could do this sort of peeping move. And if I connect, he can just jump out. This is a much better position for him. Yes, he has potentially 2 weak groups because this top group is not necessarily alive yet. But I also have a little bit of weakness in the center. So this is what I was sort of expecting in the game. But because he doesn't push up, which is, as I said, very, very important, and just peeps right away, unless this peep is an Atari, you should always try to take their move away from them. The one that you expected them to play. They're trying to get something extra, and you're saying no. This is very important. If he just responds like he did in the game, then you get a lot of forcing moves, which makes his group not alive. And then again, as you saw, I can just jump here and connect my group. And it's a little bit difficult to kill the corner because there's a lot of space. There's a possibility you might be wondering about this attachment here as black. This is possible, but if he just pulls back here, it's not alive and it just damages his corner. So it's not good enough to live here. If he bumps here instead, there is a lot of outside weakness. So I probably have to connect. Then if he just extends down, because otherwise it would just be a bulky 5, I have to at least Hane and play on the inside. But this gives at least a little bit of a cutting point that I would have to deal with. This would be very difficult to manage. So this is probably the best way that he could play. But then I could also try to do something here and capture the stone. And if he tries to do these cuts, it's a little bit difficult for him now, but it's still a fighting game and he can try. And probably his last big mistake here, because he doesn't have to respond perfectly to every move. Bigger mistake here was the jump. He can still jump out towards the center, but the jump, while it gets rid of more territory, it also means that there's a possibility he's not alive here. He can connect here and make this eye, but there is the possibility of also squeezing this eye. This is something I have to worry about in the future, and so instead of jumping, it's likely better to just push. If I don't respond and I try to do something on the outside, he can Hane and just make life in the corner itself, which is fairly large, living a lot bigger than he should. But at this point, he just resigned, and I appreciate that he realized that there wasn't really a way to win anymore, especially after I was able to play solidly everywhere and stay solid everywhere. He focused a little bit too much in the bottom right corner and needed to think a little bit more about how strong his groups were. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And yeah, I hope you guys are having a good day. Have fun.